video will go over how to create zip code territories around the greater Cleveland area. So if we did want to create 3 territories called Cleveland West, Cleveland East, and Cleveland South, we can do it a couple different ways. To approach this, I would probably start with our search tools, and they're located at the top. They're shapes with little binoculars. We have a circle radius, polygon, a freeform area, and also a drive time polygon if we wanted to. So if I just wanted to start freehand, I could just start in the west here and just kind of circle down around here, come back up around, and once I come back to the beginning, then it'll ask me what I want to find within that shape, and I want to find the zip codes within that shape, and I'll call this Cleveland West. It's automatically filled in with a color, and it gives me a list of all the zip codes that are included in that area. Now we can take advantage of demographics in the program. So if I wanted to add demographics to this territory label so that I can see how many households are in that area, I would go to my territories line over in my map and data box and click on the little settings gear to open up manage map and data. From here I could change the transparency if I wanted to start to see through it a little bit, if I wanted to see some of the underlying areas. I can then click on labels. The first thing I'll do is just change the background color just so it contrasts a little bit more, and then I'm going to click on format labels. We can put up to 5 pieces of information as part of this label, and we can use demographic data. So to put our first piece of information, I click the box number 1 and I change it to demographic data, and then I'm going to do my pull down list and eventually find households. There's a ton of demographic information in here. I'll just choose households and just do number of households. Click change label, and now I have that information on the map. I can see that I have 307,000 households in that area. I can also add that information to the territory itself. So if I wanted to see Cleveland West and I wanted to add households, in my data window I can click on more data, choose demographic data from the pull down list, and do the same idea. Scroll down until we get to households. Press the right arrow to bring it across, and then press the up arrow to make it appear on the left hand side of this data window. I can also get rid of fields that I don't necessarily need, especially if they're redundant. And we'll just highlight those 3 to start, click the left arrow to make them go away, click set data columns, and now we have more of a fine-tuned map. And we have the zip codes, we have the number of households, and also one thing that's handy if we wanted to export that I missed is we can go back, click on that more data button again, and choose territory. We can bring that in so that we can see after we export it to Excel that this is all part of Cleveland West. So that'll be nice when you're looking at your Excel file. Okay, now that we have our first area, we can then use our search tools again and start just using our draw tool. And let's go around here. Once again, we're querying our zip codes, and we'll call it Cleveland East. We don't have to do the territory label because it's already included, and we can see that we have 400,000 in there. So if we wanted to, we can trim it up a little bit. First thing we can do is if we missed one, we can then click on the blue puzzle piece and add it to Cleveland West. And then we can decide if we want to start trimming up Cleveland East. So one thing that might be handy to trim up Cleveland East, if I wanted to get it down to 350,000, is to see how many households we have per zip code. So to do that, I'm going to go back to my labels. This time I'm going to go with the zip code level. And I'm going to click on the little settings gear next to zip codes, and I'm going to click on labels again, format labels, and then I'm going to choose this one that says auto labels. So it'll be attached right below that black number. Same idea as before, we check number 1, choose demographics from the pull down list. Eventually we'll find households. And I'll just give it HH. Click change labels. Now we can see what each individual zip code has to offer. If I wanted to trim this up a little bit, I can start clicking on zip codes. I can click on the zip code itself, click on the zip code number, and then I can hold down the shift button on my keyboard if I like, and I can just start pulling some of this information off. So now that I have a bunch of zip codes collected, I'm going to click the blue zip code puzzle piece, and I'm going to remove it from Cleveland East. And now I can see that I have approximately 346. If something doesn't look right, we can take a look at it and we can remove it from Cleveland East. So now we can see we have about 342,000 in that zip code, so that looks pretty good. We can keep going if we wanted to. If we wanted to do Cleveland South, we can go down towards Akron, come around to the beginning, same idea as before. Where are the zip codes? Cleveland South. We could change the color if we wanted to. Then we can see at a glance that Cleveland South has 233,000. So this one needs a little bit more work. So then we can start adding. We can click, hold down the shift button on the keyboard, start grabbing the ones around the perimeter, start adding those in. Blue puzzle piece when we're all set. Do add to Cleveland South. Now we're getting a little bit closer, so we can go further into Akron. Let's use the search tool this time and just draw a circle. Okay, so now we have about 343,000. You can always tweak this if you wanted to try to balance those out further. And then we can try to take a look at our map and try to fine-tune the look and feel. So the first thing I'm going to do is remove these zip code. I no longer need these zip code population numbers. So I'm going to go to zip codes, and let's just go ahead and uncheck show auto labels to make those go away. I could then go to territories if I wanted to and start playing around with the look of those territories. I could hide internal boundaries if I wanted to. I could change the border of the territories. I can choose to make them black, and I can make them a thicker black if I wanted to. I could then also uncheck my zip codes to make those go away if I just wanted to see the outline. I could undo my states if I wanted to see the street level data. And then you'll see that as we do a little bit of tweaking, we're going to get closer and closer to the map that we're looking for. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, please let us know.